Hey everyone, welcome to You Wizards. Today I'll talk about Balduvian Conjurer. Balduvian Conjurer is an 0-2 human wizard for 1 and a blue. It has tap. Target snow land becomes a 2-2 creature until end of turn. It's still a land. In paper, Balduvian Conjurer only has been printed in one edition, Ice Age, and it has an online-only printing in Masters Edition 2 for Magic Online. Its art is by Mark Tedin, and it shows a weird humanoid making ice figures out of water. There's a card in Cold Snap that's probably a reference to this card, Balduvian Frostwalker. It has a higher mana cost and different stats, but his ability is very similar, turning a slow land into a creature. Turning lands into creatures is not an ability commonly found in blue, but there's a few cards that do that, mostly in the Return to Zendikar block with the Awaken mechanic. Balduvian Conjurer is a very fragile creature with an interesting effect, but with a mana cost of 2, you don't lose a lot of tempo if you lose him to a cheap removal spell. As a third card, Balduvian Conjurer is pretty bad, as turning lands into creatures is a very risky thing to do, especially in the early game, and just getting a 2-2 for 2 is not a great deal. It also has a niche use if you know your opponent is playing snowlands, allowing you to turn them into creatures, and then kill them with creature removal. This is not something you can count on really, unless you're playing cards that turn lands into snow-covered. But those are pretty bad, so you really shouldn't do it. So its real potential comes out in combo decks, as turning lands into creatures can allow for some very broken things. Now, the combos also require a lot of cards and setup, so they are not great. But they are fun, so I hope you'll enjoy them. So for our first combo, you need Balduvian Conjurer in play without Summoning Sickness, a few snow-covered islands, and Intruder Alarm. Then, you'll need a card that allows you to repeatedly put creatures into play. Mirror Propagator and Wall of Kelp are pretty good if you want to stay in mono blue, but you'll need them without Summoning Sickness too to start the combo. You start by turning one land into creature, use it to pay for the token creating ability, triggering Intruder Alarm, and untapping all your creatures. Then, you can turn a second land into a creature, use both to get mana, and keep the loop going. Depending on how many snow-covered lands you have, you may even be able to start adding mana with each iteration, ending with as much mana and as many creatures as you want. The tokens won't have haste, and if you're using Wall of Kelp, they won't even be able to kill your opponent. So you need something else to finish the job. Blue Sun's Zenith is a pretty standard one for infinite mana combos, or you can just use Altar of the Brood to kill only with the tokens. There's a lot of cards that can fill the role of Mirror Propagator in this combo. In colorless you have things like Retrofitter Foundry and Mirror Matrix, but they are more expensive and you need more mana to start the loop. Squirrel Nest is pretty good too if you're willing to play green. With this, you just need to enchant the land you'll turn into creature. For my second combo, we'll be using some cards I've already mentioned in most of my previous videos, Freed from the Real and Pemmin Sora. You only need one of them, attached to an island turned into a creature. This allows you to add mana with your land, and use it to untap itself. This on its own doesn't really do anything, but in combination with an effect like High Tide, it allows you to generate as much mana as you want. Then you just need a good mana sink, and you win. This one is a lot better than the previous one, but both of them are pretty risky if your opponent is holding up mana for removal. Balduvian Conjurer is a good and cheap card that enables some pretty fun combos, but they are very risky. It is pretty bad on its own, and it shouldn't really be played in fair decks. Playing it also requires a lot of snow-covered lands in your deck. I would totally use it in a non-competitive combo deck though, as I really enjoy this style of combo.